Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we would be discussing about the anatomy of a call center executive. What happens after you get hired? This is the common process for each and every call center. What happens is after you get hired, there is an induction period where the HR, your HR, you would be aligned to an HR in his or her span. The HR would be introducing you to the company's policies, company's terms. They would explain you what are zero tolerance policies, what can get you fired. They would be explaining about the seed program. Seed is the education program in each and every call center. If you want to pursue your higher education, how the organization is going to help you to get or for help you to achieve your educational degrees and goals. And they would give you a tour of the call center, plus there would be a free meal, I believe. In all the call center that I worked for, they did the free meal thing. But again, that's not mandatory in all call centers, so it depends. And then this entire process would take probably like a day or an entire 8 hours of shift. Your ID cards would get generated and so on. So the basic formalities. If you want to take pick and drop facility from the office, they would provide you that. They would also take your documents to open your salary account. So this typically happens within the first day of joining, and from the second day onwards you would be aligned to a trainer. The trainer would probably text you or ask you to come down, meet them at a particular their office within the company, and following that they would introduce you to your batchmates. Typically a batch has anywhere between 10 to 20 members. If it is less, then the requirement is less. So typically a batch ranges in between 10 to 20 members. That is when your training period starts. A training period is called the honeymoon period basically. Training and OJT. We'll be discussing about OJT after this. So in training period they would briefly explain you what the process is about. They would provide you sample calls. You would see how sample calls works. The training depends anywhere between 7 days to probably like a month. It depends from processes to processes. The bigger the processes, the bigger the training time period is as well. So after the training is done, they would give you an assessment. Only after you pass the assessment, you would be moved to the OJT phase. Now again, it totally depends upon your trainer and the HR. If you fail in the assessment, there are trainers, because again, if you fail in the assessment, it's a bad remark for the trainer. The trainer didn't teach you well, which is why you failed. That is how they look at it. So a trainer really strives to help you pass the exam by the assessment, by helping you in each and every way. They do not help you copy the exam, to be very honest with you. They do not do that. But in any other way that they can, if it is possible, they do help. So let's assume that you failed your assessment exam in the training period. So they depends from company to company. They help you reappear for the exam the same day, or even they give you like 7 days to reappear the exam, and then finally you manage to pass it. If you do not pass it after 3 or 4 times or 5 times of attempts, then probably they would ask you to leave. They would fire you. Training period is basically simple process. It's a very simple process in each and every company that you join. Let's say the process is 100%, and in the training you would only learn about 20% of it. They have their syllabus to complete, provided by their VP or something. They complete their syllabus, you pass, and then you move on to the OJT phase. Now again, in OJT phase you would be working simultaneously, you would be learning as well. So depends from company to company. If it is typically a 4-hour shift, out of 4 hours, the first 4 hours you would be barging calls, emails and chats, so that you see how others are working, and the last 4 hours you would be doing it yourself. You would be implementing what you learned for that day. In some companies you would be working for the entire 8 hours of shift, and they would divide you, like let's say if you were 20 people in the batch of the training batch, then they would divide you like divide you into 4 groups or 5 groups. Each group would have 4 to 5 members, and would be they would assign a senior executive or a tenured executive who has ample experience to guide you. They are also called nesters. So this is either an OJT phase. It's either called an OJT phase or a nesting phase. Nesting is this term nesting is most commonly used in the US, UK and Canada, but right now in India we have started using the same word as well. So instead of OJT we are calling it as nesting phase. So again, it depends from company to company. You would not have the same. Maybe in the company that has hired you, they would put you all under the same trainer in the OJT phase or the nesting phase. So that is how it works. So OJT phase, that goes for somewhere between, depends from company to company again. So it is anywhere between a month to 3 months. So that is called the OJT phase. At the end of 3 months, the management would gauge you what you are good at. If you are hired for calls, are you good at calls, or you are good at chat or emails, and according to your skills and your performance in the first 4 months, they would assign you. So after completing the OJT phase, you would be moved down to the regular floor, the floor where you would be working with your other colleagues, the tenured ones and the non-tenured ones. All would be working together. You would be assigned to your team lead. Your team lead would ask you to join the team and start working. That is how it works. So there are different programs of different companies. So after OJT, after you pass the OJT, someone give you a joining. Some of the companies give you joining bonus. Wipro and TCS and Tech Mahindra are 3 companies who give you joining bonuses anywhere between 3,000 to 14,000. It depends from process to process, again from company to company as well. So that's the bare anatomy of an executive. Once you join a call center, that is how it works. Every time you switch your company, this is the same process that follows. So again, don't be a fool like me. Do not switch companies just out of the blue. I used to switch companies once every 6 months just to get a salary hike, which I'm still doing. Probably because I am about to quit my job and pursue YouTube as a full-time career. I have 2 other channels which I run, which has a steady income stream. So I will discuss about that in a later video. But this is the entire anatomy of a call center executive. So guys, if you have any further doubts, you can comment down below. I would try to reply you back. I try to reply back each and every one of you guys. I would request you guys to give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. And again, I desperately need subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I would request you to subscribe it right away. Thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.